Hi and welcome back to gym update number 12. So luckily the test order of gym equipment has finally arrived, so we've started to unpack that, as well as the solar equipment, the panels, inverters and the batteries, and they've started to get set up. Also, enough waffling off me, let's jump in to gym update number 12. And as luck would have it, my trip to the gym coincided with the first delivery truck arriving also. So the truck finally made it, and you can see here the new doors to the gym. Once the truck was parked, Leo mustered the troops ready for the unloading. And you can also see that the welding for the fire escape has been finished and they started to paint it black. We'd booked the boom truck, it hadn't turned up. The guy said they would start to unload the heavy duty 1x1 meter gym mats. And they said they were going to do this by hand. These are those rubber mats, and I can say, because I did help, they are extremely heavy. And it is more fun in the Philippines, and although he had booked the boom truck, it didn't seem like it was going to turn up. So the guy said they would start unloading it using the block and tackle and manpower. As you can see, they use many different techniques and methods to get it off the truck and onto the ground. So the plan changed again, and this time it's get the rubber mats into the gym. And you can see that this half of the gym, or this quarter of the gym, has been cleared, so this is where we're going to store the gym equipment for the time being. And as the 90 plus rubber tiles were transported into the gym, Leo set about breaking open the first container to get out the treadmill. So that's the last rubber tile going inside. You can see here Leo opening the second crate, and this contains all the barbells, the dumbbells, the raw balls, and all the smaller pieces of gym equipment. So all the equipment is in. I've unpacked, or the boys have helped me to unpack all of the equipment for the boxes, and I have to say I'm very, very happy with the quality indeed. I will, once I've double checked it, start going forward with the second order. As the equipment was being unloaded downstairs on the first floor, the masons were starting to construct the room that will eventually hold the infrared sauna. And later that day, a box arrived with the 4-stage water purification system, or the filtration system. More about that in future videos. And when I returned the next morning, I could see that the masons had really cracked on with the room that's going to hold the infrared sauna. And at the other side of the first floor, you can see they're making a video on health and safety on how not to work at heights. And you can see the second part of that how not to do it health and safety video is being recorded outside on the 3rd floor. Then Alan, the guy in the blue top, turned up. He's the master electrician and he's going to set out all the electrics for the 2 floors of the gym and also the 3rd floor. And the next time I returned, all the block work for the infrared sauna room was complete. It would have been fully complete, but Leo told me I hadn't got enough door jambs. Then a few days later, Romeo turned up with his team. You may remember Romeo, he's the guy who fitted the roller doors. You can see here that they've fitted wooden panels all the way around the ground floor of the gym. This was in preparation for fitting all of the mirrors. They had to be very careful because those mirrors are very heavy and very expensive, and until they're up, I don't need to pay. And these are all the mirrors stacked up on the ground floor waiting to be fitted onto the walls. And my brother-in-law, who is very mechanically minded and handy, started to assemble the gym equipment. In the foreground is a shoulder press, to the right is the treadmill, and to the left is a bench, an assault bike and a ski erg. And a day or so after that, Alan and his team, as Alan the electrician, started laying out all the conduit that the electrical cables are going to run through on the ground floor, the 2nd floor and also the 3rd floor of the structure. Not wanting to attract the wrath of Leo, I did buy a door jamb and also a door for the infrared sauna room. Downstairs, the machines continue to get assembled. The mirrors are continuing to go up and the electrics are continuing to get fitted. And the machine you see there in the mirror is a hack squat. Back upstairs the next day and you can see that the door jamb has been fitted. Later on that week, and you can see that the tiles for the shower and toilet room have been fitted to the walls and they're now fitting the tiles on the floor. And a week later, the solar equipment started to arrive. I think in these boxes are solar panels. And when I got inside, I found 2 batteries also. And when I popped back a few days later, I found all the tiling on the walls was complete, as was the tiling on the floor in the shower and the toilet room. And a couple of days later, a health and safety first for the job. People wearing harnesses. Those are people who are actually going to be working on the roof. So this is the way that they get the solar panels from the ground up onto the roof, and you can see the guys on the roof there, the ones with the harnesses. We won't know whether or not they're damaged either in transit or damaged when they were getting hiked up to the roof until it's all wired in, connected to the batteries and the inverters, and we start to test it. Fingers crossed nothing gets damaged. That's the technician shouting at me because I was on the roof filming and I did not have a safety harness. I think it took about maybe 2.5 days to get all of the panels up and fitted, and luckily the weather held while the guys were on the roof. In this first order, I ordered one pull-up bar just to see what it looked like and just to see whether or not I thought it was going to work. I would normally get 10. I'm not too sure this is actually going to work. So 2 weeks after ordering, the light shades finally turned up. And the next day, Alan and his team of electricians started to hang them on the ground floor. I have to admit, they do look nice, but we won't know how effective they are until we get the bulbs in. And a couple of days later, all of the light shades were fitted on the first floor in the gym also. And a couple of days later, the 2 inverters for the solar system turned up. So now we have all of the solar equipment. Let's hope it doesn't rain. The rain stopped, and a week later we had 2 inverters and 2 batteries on the wall, as well as the electrical junction box. It was all connected but not switched on, so we still don't know if any of the solar panels had been damaged. And when I visited a few days later, I found that the 2 toilets and the 2 showers had started to get fitted. Water tank has arrived. The blue tubes you can see is the water filtration system, and also in that room will be a pump and a bladder tank. And now that finally all of the plastering on the outside of the building has been complete, they start to whitewash the complete structure. So that's it for update number 12. I've already started recording for update 13, and once I've got enough clips, I will upload that video.